Working at NASA has been one of the most challenging things I've ever done in my life. The most impressive thing about working for NASA is working challenging projects. You know, in my 30 years, I've had the opportunity of doing things that probably nobody in this world has been able to do. Working for the space program here at KSC will basically allow me to first work with the most qualified people that you could find in the space program and do some of the most amazing and challenging jobs, you know, that you cannot find outside. I mean, the space program, it's unique in its structure. I'm a facility person, so I build, I do construction, I do design, and I work in the private industry for many years, and this is the most exciting work in the world. I love to talk to students. That's the first thing. About a couple of months ago, maybe less than 6 months ago, I had the opportunity to go to Puerto Rico and go to different numbers of high schools and talk to elementary school students, college students. And the things I tell them is, look, NASA is at the verge of being one of the most exciting places to work on. Right now, we're basically going back to the moon. Not only we're going back to the moon, we're going to probably establish a base on the moon and then from there go to Mars. NASA needs all kinds of people. It takes a lot of people to put an astronaut in space. So sometimes people look at NASA and say, oh, you know, NASA is just for the astronauts. Well, that's not true. Like I say, it takes a lot of people to put one astronaut in space. So if you're interested in the space program, follow NASA online, get involved with the different NASA programs at school, because in the future, we're gonna need you. And we're gonna need all kinds of professionals. I mean, from secretaries all the way to astronauts. So there's a need for every professional here, and definitely we wanna see young kids, you know, being excited about the space program. I always get the question and say, well, what do I need to do in order to go work for NASA? Well, obviously, if you're interested in the engineering side of the house, obviously we need for you to keep studying like math, science, and all technical type of educations. You know, NASA has an amazing outreach education program that basically take kids from basically elementary school, and once they get involved with the NASA programs, they start learning a lot about what kind of things they need to do in order to, when they get to high school or they go into college, they can come and work for us as interns, you know, and then eventually they can become NASA employees, you know. So my recommendation is obviously science and math, and obviously the opportunity of going into higher education. Higher education meaning going to college or universities and getting your degree in either engineering or any other sciences that are applicable to NASA, because it's not only engineers that NASA needs. NASA needs all kind of, you know, doctors and all kind of science type educations, because there's a vast amount of opportunities here to basically do things that they're not out there in the private industry. One of my biggest satisfactions, more than a, you know, it's fun, but it's a real personal satisfaction, It's the fact that you get to meet, obviously a lot of people come and they want to go, have a tour, go see the facility. So you got the opportunity of meeting everybody from senators, representatives, astronauts, and then even more exciting, high school kids. You know, high school kids come in and they go into that building and you see how their eyes, you know, just lit when they go and just see the magnitude of that building. They see the cranes and they get close to that. It is a big satisfaction for me having everybody come to the building and me having, you know, being able to give a little bit of, this is NASA, this is what we do, this is KSC. You know, it is very, very exciting to do that kind of things.